Hi guys, this is AJ, and in this video I'm going to show you the green water that we're trying to make in our pool, in the training pool that we have. So come on in. So this is the pool that we now train our employees on, and we try to create scenarios and try to use different chemicals to see which one works really well. And this is before putting any spark or any chemical, just to see how quickly the pool will become green. So this is day 3, I believe, of keeping the pool as is. Basically this is a pond at this point in time, and we'll keep you updated. All right, this is all for this video. Thank you, see you. Hey guys, so let's see the pool at day 5. All right, so this is day 6, and this is how green we could get the pool. Hi guys, now we're going to clear this pool. So this pool has stayed this way for almost 7 days now. I could not clean the pool because it was raining hard here, and now finally we're going to treat this pool. So for to treat this pool, we need a few things. We need an algae brush. We have our two trusted chemicals. This is chlorine, and we need a bit of dry acid to balance the pH. Look at the condition of the pool at the moment. Come on in. So this is how the pool looks like. uh, it has a lot of pests, bacteria, and algae. This pool is very dirty. So what I'm going to do now is to turn the pump on, and the filter will turn on as well. We'll see the pressure, we'll see how it goes. So let's do this. So we have our pump and the filter on. Come check the pressure. So that's the working pressure at the moment. Once we backwash it, it will go down. But for now, we'll just turn on the pump to have a better mixing of the chemicals. So before we start doing anything with the pool, we want to check the parameters of the pool. I simply use a test strip. That is to quickly give me the condition of the pool. Simply 1, 2. And what I'm trying to do here is just to get an idea. I'm not trying to be 100% correct. I'm just trying to get the idea. So pH, you can see, is around on the high side. Okay, and the chlorine also you can see is on the low. Well, there's no chlorine, there's no free chlorine, and then also the total chlorine is basically 0. Okay, so I already know how much chlorine and acid to put. We usually refer to our calculator online, but in this case I'm not gonna do that because I already know how much to put. Now I don't So some people get these things wrong on how to mix chemicals inside the pool. So what you usually want to do is you want to add chemicals into the pool or in a bucket. You have to put water first, and then you have to put the chemicals. You don't want to put the chemicals first and then put water on top. That's very dangerous. Don't do that. So what I'll do now is I'll take some sort of a container. I'll put some water, then put calculated amount of acid, and make the pH around 7.2. And the reason why we do pH 7.2 is to give the chlorine the best chance and be very effective in the pool. The higher the pH, the lower the chlorine tends to perform. Let's do that. All right, so I have my bucket. I have this, um, and I'm going to put water into this one. Then I'll add my chemicals and mix it properly. Then I'll pour the chemicals into the pool. So since this is a vinyl liner pool, you want to make sure that you put the chemicals right on the return side so that it would mix properly. Or if you're going to put it around the pool, make sure the water is circulating properly. So that's why we turn on the pump. So here we go. So yeah, the water is very dirty and filled with algae and bacteria. Guys, you should put your gloves, but sorry, you should also put, if you're going to use muriatic acid, well, you have no choice. But this one is dry acid, so it's not very painful. It doesn't really smell that bad. Just don't get it on your fingers. So that's about it. I'll dry the cap out and I'll simply mix. So you're trying to make this acid mixture. You're changing the pH of the water by adding acid. Yeah, mix this properly so that you don't get the acid bits on certain uh, areas in your pool. And now what you simply want to do is pour it slowly here. So I'll pour it slowly. So after you have added the acid and you've adjusted the pH, you should brush the pool and then add chlorine to have the maximum effect. So I'll take a brush. So I have this brush. You actually have to choose any algae brush if you have. Since this is a small pool, I'll just use whatever brush we have. All right, so come closer. So what you want to do is you want to brush the side, okay? You want to brush the side of the pool. I know some guys might be wondering, why don't you just drain the pool? Why do you want to brush the pool like this? The thing is, yeah, you can drain the pool, but it's a hassle. This one is also a hassle, but I mean the pool is already green, so what to do? And if you have a lot of water in your pool, sometimes this can be a very big issue of draining and refilling the pool to those people who don't have available water at all times. So you have to do these things. Obviously, the reason why we're doing this is to teach you guys what's the most effective way of not allowing algae to grow in the pool. So this work is quite a hassle, and that's why owning a pool can be quite tiresome for a few pool owners who have no idea on how to maintain pools. So this way I'm going to brush all of the pool. You can come closer. You can see that if I brush this pool this way, all the algae just goes off. But this is not just algae, guys. This also has bacteria growing at the same time. Okay? And the goal is to not just remove algae, but to also kill all the bacteria. Therefore, people recommend chlorine chalk because putting in high amounts of chlorine really makes it uninhabitable for any algae or bacteria to grow inside the pool. We want to kill all of it as much as possible. And then we want to do something so dramatic and but easy, so that it never comes back. The algae and bacteria, hopefully, they won't come back. So this is the whole thing of pool maintenance. So since this pool is small, it's easier for me to brush, but can you imagine the hassle of brushing a very big pool? Yeah, that's a problem. All right, so we have brushed the entire pool. Honestly, looking at this pool right now, me personally, I would just change the water. But since this is an educational video, we want to show you how to really turn it into blue. But the main thing is just don't allow it to turn green. Anyways, so what I'm going to do now is to add chlorine, uh, and I'm going to refer again to the calculator and put the dose, the calculated dosage. So this time I'm going to use, you should use 90 70% chlorine for chlorine shocks, but if you don't have, then 90% is fine. So we're going to add pre-calculated amount of chlorine. So I'll simply put 100 grams. That's the dosage that we've come with. Again, I'm just winging it. Usually I would calculate it properly, but since this is our training pool, we basically know how much chemical to use. Again, add the chemical into the water and so don't add the water into chlorine. Sometimes people make mistakes, so a disclaimer. Now you want to make sure that it mixes properly. Sometimes the chlorine don't mix properly. That's uh, that's another problem we have. So you have to choose a high quality chlorine that would mix properly, especially with 90% chlorine, since it has a bit of acid. If it doesn't mix with the water properly, it ends up staining your pool. It ends up making different colored pools, uh, especially the flooring, and that doesn't look good. So you want to mix this properly. This chlorine that I have, uh, it's okay, but it doesn't really mix properly, and or it takes a very long time to mix. The whole point of chlorine shock is to get the dosage so high that no algae, no bacteria survives. Also, there is bacteria that lives on the side of the pools, making the pool very slippery. It's not because of water, but because of the slippery film that bacteria forms. So you want to get the chlorine dosage very high so that you can penetrate the bacteria inside that film. So usually we recommend anywhere between to kill the bacteria in biofilm, you need more than 50 ppm. For algae, sometimes it works at 10 ppm. Sometimes you have to really get it up there. So just go with 50 or 60 ppm. That's fine. So now I'm done adding the chlorine. We're going to wait for the chlorine to kill all the algae. Usually the reaction is instant, but you want to let the heavier algae settle to the bottom, while the ones that are on the top, you continue to filter the water, and then eventually you want to vacuum it all out after the heavy algae has settled. The small algae which is still in suspension, you can continue to filter it out with your pump. But in if your vacuum is working properly, then you turn off your pump and you let all the algae settle. And then what you want to do is you want to vacuum it to drain. You don't want to vacuum it back into the filter because your filter is just going to get clogged. But if you don't have a good vacuum, which obviously I do not recommend, I always recommend to get a better a pump, stronger pump that could vacuum properly. But just in case you do not have it, then what you want to do is you want to filter out as much particulate as possible. the smaller particles so that your filter can hold it, and then you can backwash your filter. For DE filter guys or cartridge filter guys, uh, obviously I would recommend that you get a better vacuum instead, because maintenance is always a hassle. Now I want to take out time to explain another product that we use personally, and that is chlorine dioxide. It comes in tablet forms or in powder forms, and what it does is sometimes when you add chlorine into the pool, it you add a lot of it, and it stays in the pool. And eventually, if you have a lot of biofilm and the chlorine was not able to penetrate biofilm, let's just say it could not. So what you'll have is chlorine byproducts, which is the cause of you getting itchy skin, or your pool will continue to have the chlorine odor even after, say, 2 hours, 3 hours of putting chlorine. You're not supposed to have the chlorine odor, but it stays. And that's because chlorine has combined with another product called ammonia in the pool, and that makes chloramines. What you're smelling, the chlorine odor, is no longer chlorine, but a byproduct of chlorine called chloramine. And you don't want that in your pool. So to break those, this is actually a very easy product to use. I use chlorine dioxide. But if you don't have chlorine dioxide, you just want to add a lot of chlorine. Again, you want to break that bond. So do 10 ppm. Again, for those who don't know what's a ppm, it's parts per million or milligram per liter. And you can check our website, our pool volume calculator, to know how many ppm or how many grams of chlorine you need to reach a certain amount of ppm. So you can see already the pool is turning a bit bluish. It's only been what, 5 minutes. The filter is operating, but you can see that the pressure in the pressure gauge has gone up. That's because the filter is doing its job. This is what happens when you have a good filter. We have a sand filter, but we put a filter media called AFM, and we designed it properly so that it can filter better. And you can already see that the water in itself is getting clear, but the heavy algae is still at the bottom. For that, we'll be using vacuum. So anyways, going back to chlorine dioxide, I want to show you again. Put a bit of water and come closer. I want to show you this reaction. So this is a tablet, okay, and I put it straight into the pool. Look what happens. It's put straight in the bucket. Look what happens. It starts to dissolve and the water becomes yellow. So this is chlorine dioxide. It's not chlorine, it's chlorine dioxide. It's a totally different product. It works very well for disinfection. Actually, it's 10 times stronger than chlorine, but it produces a lot of gas. And you can see some sort of gas coming out of this mixture already. So you want to be careful of the fumes. These fumes are also corrosive. So you want to let it mix properly and then put it into the pool. What's good about this product is it removes all the biofilm in the pool and also ensures complete disinfection. And also it's very good for removing algae. Again, you only want to do it when your pool is shaded. If there was sunlight on this pool, direct sunlight on the pool, I wouldn't use this product, or I won't even use chlorine for that matter. I would wait for the pool to get shaded. But since our pool is shaded, I mean, there's no direct sunlight on it, I can use it. So you can see this has somewhat mixed, and I'm gonna be very careful. Just pour it into the pool. You can see now the pool color is also gonna change. Since my pool is small, I'm just going to mix it properly. You can see the color of the pool this way, and You want to make sure that the water is mixed properly. So that's it. We'll come back now after, say, 2 3 hours, or even late in the evening, since we're not going to swim. We're going to come back and then we'll do a bit of vacuuming just to clear out the pool. And you'll already see the pool's going to be much clearer in the evening. Hi guys. So the update on the pool, and we're back. It's now almost 4. We kept the pump running all this while since morning. No vacuum, yeah, and check the pool. So yeah, the water is super clear, but you can see the bottom of the pool that the algae has turned into brownish, sorry, into whitish stuff. I don't know what I can call it. It's really turned white, and you can see that it has settled at the bottom of the pool. Now is all I have to do is vacuum this pool. But come closer. I'm just gonna brush the bottom of the pool just to show you what it really is. So if you can see, this is still algae, but it's dead and it's white in color. So imagine if this was a vacuum, you could simply vacuum this from the pool and you'd be done, right? So there, that's it. So we're gonna vacuum this pool and then we're going to show you how it looks like maybe by tomorrow. So yeah, that's a quick update on this pool. Again, I'm very happy that we have a very good filter. We're using AFM in our sand filter. I know it's not a typical pool filter, but just wanted to show you that any filter would do as long as you're using the right filter media inside. The whole point of this video was to show how to turn green pool into blue. But I believe the challenge is always how to keep it blue or clear. And that would be the topic of our next video, or the next phase of this video. And that is to use a chemical so revolutionary that if you just dose it once in the pool, you'll never have to see the pool green again for up to 12 months. And that's what we want. We don't want to see it ever green again. It doesn't matter how many times it rains or how many times it's very hot day, or you forgot to put chlorine for a certain day. Uh, Obviously, I'm not condoning. I'm not saying that you should not use chlorine. I'm just saying your pool becomes more forgiving if you forget to add chlorine or you forget to maintain your pool. At least you'll have the crystal clear water, and all you have to do is just vacuum and do some things, and your pool is clear again. Hi guys, so this is an update video of what we did after we cleared the pool. You still saw the white algae last time. So now we vacuum the pool and the pool is clear as it can be. So that was how we cleared the pool from green to blue. Now, the main thing is this cycle never stops, from green to blue to green again, especially for residential pools, because people don't really have time, or they don't put much attention into maintaining their pools. And so for that, we thought as a company, what if we created this one chemical that would be dosed only once and it would last for up to a year. So that is Spark Pool Conditioner. This is what we've made, and this is our solution to algae-ridden pools. Eventually, all pools start to grow algae because there are lapses in maintenance, and this makes sure that everything's taken care of. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this into the pool. I'm going to show you how it's done and how much of it do we need. So again, I'll have this pool volume calculator somewhere showing you how much spark to put based on the volume of the pool. So first we calculate the volume, and then based on that, the calculator tells you how much spark you need. And after you get the dosage, now you have to just simply take your bucket and so what we're going to do is, again, like every other chemical, you need to put water in here. So based on our dose calculation, we need around 1 kilo of spark. 1 kilo of spark can treat around 4,500 liters of water. And guys, rain or shine, whatever happens, your pool is not going to turn green. Okay, you just need minimal chlorine for maintenance purposes, and you need to adjust your pH. So you can see that this chemical is extremely safe to use. It dissolves instantly. It is powder type. Just be careful. Obviously, we do recommend you wear your protective gear, but this is just to show that it's quite safe to use. And we're gonna put it into this pool. So that's how easy it was to dissolve. Okay, we'll take the rest. So you can see that there is no residue. What these white things that you see in the pool are actually chlorine stains. When your chlorine doesn't mix properly, it ends up staining your pool. This is a vinyl liner pool, so the stains are more visible. That's why if you have a tiled pool, your groutings will go off. It's always good to have good chlorine that can dissolve properly. Anyways, let's mix the remainder of the mixture. That's it again. So you can see there's no residue left. And it turns the pool slightly cloudy for a while, just for a while. And after that, it goes back to being clear again. So if you can see some residue at the bottom of the pool, that means there's still some clumps. Just take your mighty brush and brush the at the bottom, so it will mix, it will break, and even if it don't break, eventually it will break while you're swimming, and it's totally safe. So all you have to do is that. Okay, so that's it. You are done. All right, so it's as if no chemical was put into the pool. Now this is what I do to have headache free pools. This is how I maintain all of our pools, even our clients' pools. This is what they expect. They want something that you put once and you don't have to think about it for up to 12 months. This chemical doesn't expire in the pool, it doesn't get evaporated. And the only way to lose this chemical is if you lose water. So every time you backwash the filter, you will end up losing some chemical, but then the dosage is still high enough to maintain and treat the pool uh, for algae prevention. And we're going to post again updates. Well, this is going to be the end of this video, and we're going to show in subsequent videos or reels how the pool looks like even after heavy rains, even with the scorching sunlight. Especially in Philippines, it's always hot and it's always raining. So this is all for this video. Thank you guys, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.